Okay, so we're back at it. Um, I wasn't initially going to say anything about this because it's not really that relevant or important to me until I started hearing black women talking about it. So, this movie's coming out. People are angry. White people are angry, and so they're boycotting the movie. I'm glad. Thank you. Boycott the shit out of this movie. I hope they lose so much money. It's not funny. But then I started hearing black women talking about it, and they were like, "Oh, empowerment and girl power, girl magic, loving times, goodness and love, girl this and black girl perfection and black girl this and black girl that, and taking my daughters to see this. I'm taking my nieces to see this. I'm gonna take my little girls to see this movie. They have to see this movie. It's so much empowerment." And I think every day I become more and more disgusted with my people because the inability to think logically. And you know, it's not, most people around the world of any race tend to think that way, tend to be a little stupid. Majority of people are always stupid. But the issue I have is then when you try to present things to them, if it if it hurts them emotionally, they will just ignore and disregard it completely. And that's what's happening with this movie here, and that's what's making me so angry. I'm seeing this. I mean, when it first came out, I was just annoyed in general because I already knew what was going to happen. And I started to see the trailers and the previews and the cast, and then I started to hear what black women had to say about it. And I'm like, well, these women aren't able to see what's going on, and they haven't been able to. Black women, especially, have not been able to see what has been going on and what has been done to us since the mid or late '70s, all the way till now, where white society is constantly trying to put a divide. They're constantly trying to divide us. It's very disturbing. I'm thinking about, so for example, Black Panther movie. I made a video about Black Panther, the second Black Panther. In the first Black Panther, you had T'Challa and I forget the woman's name, the African actress, and they were a couple, or they were love interests in the story. In the second one, T'Challa's not in it. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman died, so you don't have that. You don't have a black woman and a black man together. Now, every other superhero movie, you will always have a white male hero and a love interest, a white female love interest. Every single time, without fail, it does not matter. You always will have that. And movies are used as propaganda. They're used as teaching tools. They're used as molding tools. They've always been used that way. That's one of the primary reasons that they exist. Whether it's for nefarious things or whether it's for other things, whether it's for non nefarious things, whether it's for patriotic things or justified things or justifiable things, I don't know. Whether it's for good things or bad things, that's what they're used for. So you have these white movies that come out. You have the white male hero. He's always handsome and heroic, and he's always willing to sacrifice his life to save others. And then you have the white female heroine or the love interest that he is protecting and saving and going after, and they're coming together and they're forming a relationship, and that helps push the message to white children that, you know, you if you're a male, you work to protect people, and you'll get their respect, and people will love you and admire you for it, and these are the types of women that you go after. This is what is important to you. This is what should be important to you. That's what these movies are showing to white children. It's showing white girls that you should respect these white males, and they will take care of you, and they will provide for you. They will protect you. So go out there and help support those white males. Cause you guys come together, and the end result of you coming together, your union will culminate into a white family, and white society will grow. Black people, we don't get that message. If a black person is in a big tentpole film, the black person is normally a sidekick. It's normally a black male or a black female. They tend to be a sidekick or some tentpole character that doesn't have a love interest, so you don't see that. Every once in a while, yes, you will have a love interest in those types of. They will have like a wife or something that you rarely see. You may see her once, or they may talk about her, but it's not focused on. But most of the time, yeah, it's a guy. There's no black female in there for him to be interested in. Maybe there's a white female or an Asian female or a Hispanic female for him, but there's no black female for him. Same thing with the women. You'll have a woman in there, and more than likely she will be going after a Hispanic or a white male love interest in whatever story you're in, or they'll just make them homos. So you don't really get to see that. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. We have movies that do exist, but a lot of those movies are produced and reluctantly released by Hollywood, but they're produced by black filmmakers. So a black filmmaker more than likely will put something like that in their movies. Not to say white people have never done it, but that's not the norm. The norm is you are a sidekick prop character in a film. You are an asexual person, meaning that the idea of you being in a relationship with a woman is not even mentioned or talked about or relevant to the story. And if you are a sexual person and you do have a mate, then the person is normally non-black. That's how it normally goes. And that is, again, like we spoke about earlier, that's propaganda used to send the message out there. The message is, well, black families, that's not that big of a deal. That's not something that we want to talk about. That's not something that we're interested in promoting. We'll promote the shit out of white families, but we don't really want to promote black families. And that's done in all the races. The white society does it to Hispanics. They do it to Asians. You hardly even will see Asians in anything. Hispanics aren't represented practically at all. So that's just what they do. But I'm not talking about Hispanics and Asians. I'm focusing on blacks. So you'll have that a lot. So in the Black Panther movie came out, you had Chadwick Boseman and I can't believe I forgot that woman's name. Wow. Well, you had his love interest in the first Black Panther movie. In the second one, there was no love interest. Now, people will say, well, Chadwick Boseman died, so they couldn't realize that storyline. That's fine. But you had two other love interests in the first story. You had the head of the Dora Milaje, the woman from The Walking Dead, and you had the guy from Get Out. And they were a couple in the movie. In the next movie, he ain't even in it. The only relationship that's, I think, really focused on that you can see the two partners together was just homosexual women. That was it. That wasn't in the movie. So, I mean, you didn't have the heterosexual black man and woman couple portrayed in that movie for some reason. When you had it in the first one and you just broke up that couple for the second one, I don't know why that was done, but that was a problem to me. Then this movie's coming out, Little Mermaid, and everyone's so happy. The women are like, woman empowerment, I love this. And I'm like, did you not see the trailers? Did you not see, are you not looking at the trailer and seeing what I'm seeing? So in this trailer, you have the black female who is singing about desperately wanting to be part of this world. And what world is she talking about? This white man's world.
Wish I could be part of that world.
I mean, there's just the optics behind that. I mean, if you're going to put black people in the movie, then why couldn't you give her a black love interest? Then we wouldn't have had any issue. It would have been just like you've done for all your other Disney movies. You have a white female princess, and then you have a white male, love interest for her. But now you have a black one, and you couldn't give her a black love interest? Why not? Why couldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you want to do that? And the reason that that's an issue to me is because when I look at all the Disney movies, I grew up watching Disney movies, all of them had white heroines with white male love interests. The only time you get a black movie, which is the Frog Princess, the two black love interests are frogs throughout most of the movie. The girl's not even a human throughout most of the movie. It's two frogs in love with each other throughout most of the movie. I don't even remember how it ends. Do they stay frogs for the whole fucking film? So that's the one instance. It's literally the only time out of, hold on, let me check. When did Snow White come out? Snow White, I'm on the wrong keyboard again. Snow White, the first one came out in 1937. We're now in 2023. So it's almost been a whole century. And out of this whole almost century, you've had only one film with a black love interest, a black princess and a black male love interest. And then again, in that movie, They're frogs for most of the movie. So the little girls watching it, or even the little boys watching it, they're not seeing what the white girls see, where it's the white female heroine and there's the white male love interest, and they're coming together and they're in love and all that. You're not even seeing that. You're seeing two frogs. So that's a problem for me. And then you have other movies that Disney promoted or produced or whatever, or released with black people in it. You have Cinderella with Brandy. Brandy's in the movie, got black Cinderella, and black women back then were like, oh, yes, representation, cowabunga, let's go see this. And even back, well, not back then, but years later, after a while, I'm starting to understand all this stuff that's going on. You look back at that movie, and the girl has hold on. Sorry, Cinderella. She has in the movie, what was he, Hispanic or Asian prince? You couldn't pick why couldn't you pick a black male for this? I mean, this movie had no black males in it. What is Disney's obsession with making these movies and not putting black people in it? You're not allowed to? Why wouldn't you? Why is there an obsession with not having black male characters in a Disney movie? I don't understand that. I really don't get it. The Frog Princess. Why do I keep doing that? Frog Princess cast. In the Frog Princess, you had. God, this is harder than I thought. I'm trying to look for the dang cast, and I'm not able to find it. I need to see pictures of them. In the Frog Princess. Oh, Princess and the Frog. Sorry, guys. In the Princess and the Frog cast, you have the black male star, and he's played by what is this guy? Bruno Campos. He's played by a Brazilian guy, I think. Yeah, this guy's from Brazil. This is the guy that played the prince in The Princess and the Frog. I can't believe this shit. So, any of their movies, you're not allowed to have black males in the role. I really don't understand that. Why would you constantly be making these movies and constantly sending the message out to black girls that yes, you can go out there and find love, but the prince that you're looking for, well, he's not one of those nigger males. You're gonna want to find yourself a nice Hispanic, a nice Asian, or get yourself one of these white boys. These are princes. The niggers, well, yeah, don't be with them. We don't want you guys coming together. And it seems like black women aren't able to get that message, that they're not figuring that out, or they just don't want to, and that's a problem. These kinds of things need to be boycotted because these white companies are coming together and purposely working to water us down as a group. When white people talk about white erasure and white annihilation and all this stuff, and they're being erased, black society isn't coming together and making plans and creating scenarios or engaging in any actions to wipe out white society. We're not doing that. So that's why we laugh at that. But for blacks, yeah, you have wealthy whites coming up with plans. They have plans. They use their money to enact these plans to water us down as a group and as a people, and to, I guess, get rid of us. Why else would you constantly? This isn't a one-off. Why else would you constantly tell black females in the handful of times that you talk about them? Why else would you constantly give them the message that that the men that you're looking for will never be black? They should always be either Hispanic, Asian, or white. Why would that message constantly be out there? And are you people too stupid to realize that that's the message that they're trying to push? I mean, in this Little Mermaid movie, there's no black males in the movie. I was surprised when I found out even the black girl's father ain't even black. So you can't even have a black father in the damn role. Even the girl's fucking parents are interracial. How? Fucking hell. And black women will not. God damn, I'm so frustrated and enraged. I'm gonna give up. I really am. Because it's white society is working to sabotage and destroy us. And then you have people within the black community that are fucking helping him. I can't get over this. That these women don't see what I'm talking about. And that they don't understand this. This is a black erasure movie. That's what these things are for. These things are to send the message. Everything that you're seeing from these companies are telling black men, don't be with black women. Go out there and get yourself one of these white girls, which is why you see that happening in society so much. Growing up myself, I grew up, everything that I watched, every single thing that I watched, it didn't necessarily say black men should be with white women, but it pushed the message to me that the prize is a white female. That was the message pushed to me growing up, from the cartoons that I watched, to the video games, to the movies that I watched. You always had a white female love interest that the person was trying to rescue or save or whatever. That was pushed to us. We weren't allowed to get the message that, yeah, there's black females out there that you should pursue. That message wasn't given to us in the 80s and the 90s. Then they decided, well, we're going to switch it up in the 2000s. Now we're going to send an even worse message to the black women. Because the message sent to the black males, it wasn't like they were portraying. I mean, you did have movies with a black male and he's going after a white female. That existed, but the propaganda I'm talking about that was focused on younger black males. It wasn't a black male and a white female, but all of the shows and the cartoons and the movies and the video games, all of that stuff had white heroes. And as a young male, you start to associate yourself with the heroes that you see, which were all unfortunately white. And in all of those stories, it was always obviously a white female for that white male. So as a male, you don't see yourself at all, but the female that you are seeing as the prize is always a white female. For black women, they just went a step further. And they say, you know what? We're not even going to push the concept that the white male is this hero for women in general. We're going to specifically tell black women in our propaganda that, yeah, the white male is your prize. He's your hero. White women don't seem to be getting the propaganda. But that stuff is constantly being directed at us. So now you have these two big movies out of the year that are coming out. Little Mermaid, all the black women are going to go see this. And then at the end of the year, Color Purple. It's like a 1-2 punch. It's like a combination knockout. You got Color Purple coming out at the end of the year, and in that movie, well, we all know what happens. You get the male figure who is not being portrayed as a hero in these other movies. Well, he'll be portrayed in this movie, but in this movie, he's like a fucking pedophile and a fucking abuser, a toxic abuser. Jesus Christ.
Love me.
Afternoon. I needs me a wife.
Get off my land!
I write you every day.
And women aren't getting this. They're just so happy to see themselves on TV and on the big screen. They're so happy. Oh, Lordy Jesus, I'm on television. Thank the Lord. I want people to see me in my white makeup and my white clothes and my white jewelry and the white hair products, all the white products that I purchase with the money that I should be taking away from the white community, the money that I'm pumping into the white community to give them more power over me, all the money that I'm giving them so I can purchase their products. I want people to see me in the products, and I want to be pretty and loved. And so they ignore everything else. They're going to take their daughters to see Little Mermaid. The little girls are going to watch this. They're going to realize in their head that the strong, powerful king is a white Hispanic male, and the man, the love interest who is so handsome and so loving and kind and heroic, and the man who they desperately need to be a part of, that man is going to be a white person. Great, all right. That's one movie, right? Okay, all right, whatever. It's just one movie. Then at the end of the year, their mothers who grew up watching The Color Purple are going to say, I want my daughters to see this musical. It's a musical about black excellence. And then they're going to take their kids to see this. And the same little girls who just finished falling in love with a Disney movie about falling in love with white men, because white men are heroic and they're great and they're everything and they're the world. They're going to watch this movie and see, oh, and black men are toxic, pedophilic animals. They're toxic. Some of them are effeminate. Because what was it? Harpo in Color Purple was like an effeminate loser. So they're going to see a effeminate loser, and Harpo's father, who was played by Danny Glover, is this big toxic pedophilic animal. Abusive piece of garbage. So the black girls are going to see that. That's all they're going to see in 2023. And black women are okay taking their daughters to see these things and participating in these things and propping these things up and pumping money into these things. I don't really know what else to say. Black society, we're going to continue, apparently, we're going to continue being treated like animals. We're going to continue to be murdered and not be able to get any justice. We're going to continue just being at the bottom because we like to not use logic when making decisions, and we like to blindly and emotionally just give in to whatever makes us feel good. Doesn't matter whether we're financing or funding our own enemies. Doesn't matter whether we're sharing propaganda that is going to be used to warp and distort the minds of our own children. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. It's just we just want to feel good in the moment. We just want to be able to spend our money. We just want to look pretty. We just want to look nice and have a good time. And guess what? White people know that. And that's why this stuff has been going on for century after century after century. And it's going to just keep happening, unfortunately. I will get old and then I will die off. And this stuff will still be going on. Probably in our children's generation, they will probably engage in just a straight up wipe out tactic or campaign where they just wipe us out. Because at that point, we will just have been so watered down and weak and pathetic that what are we going to do? We're not going to fight back. So just keep watching this stuff. I don't want to hear anybody talking about fucking black empowerment with this fucking movie, because this is not a black empowerment movie, you stupid fuckers. This movie is a white produced movie. This person who's directing this movie is white. The person who wrote the screenplay, white. Producers, white. Cinematographers, white. These movies are made and produced by these white people. They get the lion's share of the money. They make the decisions. They use that money to go on and make other products. They control everything. Just giving a few dollars to how many black people in this movie? 2, 3? To 2 or 3 black people? Giving them a few dollars? That's not black empowerment, dumbass. That's just giving a few dollars to a handful of people. Not even a handful. It's like 3 people. 3 people have a job, a temporary job, and that's black empowerment. You people have to, it's getting on my nerves because people won't get the idea and they won't understand the what I'm talking about. Black women, you got to stop supporting. My stop shopping message is I really should be geared towards black women primarily, because black women, they are using you to erode and destroy us, because they know that you will not stop empowering them. Black women will not stop empowering white supremacist society. They will not do it. They never will. They will never stop buying things. They will never stop giving their money and their support. They won't do it. They will not do it. Look at this movie. Go online, and when this movie gets released, just look at the comments. Look at the things that the women are talking about. Just listen to them and just hear what they're saying. All you'll see is, oh God, I'm so happy that black women are being empowered. There won't be any kind of pushback. No one will catch on to the idea that this black girl is singing about desperately. I mean, she desperately wants to be a part of this white person's world. And it's that if you see something like that, that should disgust you, but it won't. So, I can go on and go on until my head falls off, but it's not going to change anything. So I'm going to end it here.